Hey, Bill. John Ziesenenny here. Hey, I was a little surprised to hear in the clubhouse that you were hanging up your spikes for the Richmonders. I thought you might still have a few more seasons left to play. Your numbers this year were still near the top of your game, but like all good athletes, you want to retire on top, and you're certainly doing that. It doesn't seem that many seasons ago, but back in spring training 2005, I think it was Valentine's Day, when I was excited to read that you signed a contract for the Richmonders after being with the Orinda team for a few years. The Richmonders were looking for a new manager with a new vision, and you were the right person to lead the team. 13 seasons as manager for the same team is quite an extraordinary effort in this day and age. You've seen a lot of players come and go, but each season you put together a world championship lineup. Under your leadership, the stadium was refurbished to its original glory, ball fields were rebuilt, attendance increased, finances improved, high-quality free agents were signed to important positions because they wanted to play for you, Bill Lindsay, All-Star Manager. Your career for the Richmonders has gone by way too fast. 13 seasons of great comeback wins and gut-wrenching losses in the extra innings seem to blend together. As you said in your last press conference, that you came to the Richmonders with your eyes wide open and you hope that you have helped. Well, as a lifelong Richmonder, I want to thank you for the past 13 seasons. As manager, you have helped this team not just for the past seasons, but for seasons to come. Your managerial skills, winning percentage, managing 13 All-Star games in addition to many other accomplishments on the field, you certainly qualify for enshrinement in the Richmonder Hall of Fame. Bill, if your former professor at Yale and former Commissioner of Baseball, Bart Giamatti, was here tonight, I'm sure he would be very pleased to have the honor in announcing that you were unanimously elected to the Richmonder Hall of Fame for your outstanding managerial career. Congratulations, Bill, on your retirement. You will be greatly missed.
This art transit program facility represents really the next step in mobility management for the City of Richmond. My name is Bill Lindsay, and I'm the Richmond City Manager, and I'd like to welcome you to this wonderful celebration, reopening of the Richmond Plunge. This is a community playground build that we're doing here at Belden Garcia Park. And the planning for it involved the entire neighborhood. We have a partnership with Kaboom Philanthropies, providing the funding through a local business, Berkeley business, Livy and Luca Shoes, and they provided the capital for it, for the playground. But really, the labor is community. We also had help from Pogo Park to help with the planning, and so it's a fun time, really. It's everybody pitching in. It's many hands making light work, and by the end of the day, we're going to have a brand new playground here.
So let's hear from some more Richmonder All-Stars.
Hi, Bill. This is Sarah at Groundwork Richmond. On behalf of Groundwork Richmond, our staff, our Youth Green team, and the Board of Directors, I just want to say congratulations. Thank you for your years of service to the City of Richmond. I really appreciate your commitment to the community and City of Richmond, and in particular working with nonprofits in Richmond. You've really enhanced our work in the community, and I don't think that we would have been able to do the kinds of things we do if we didn't have such a partnership with you. Working with nonprofit organizations here to help build a city has been instrumental in our work. In particular, working with the young people to help transform the City of Richmond. For example, our urban greening projects, the tree planting projects. I feel that the work and the partnership you've provided is really unique in my work with various municipalities. So again, on behalf of Groundwork, we wish you the very best on your retirement and good luck. Thank you.
Hi Bill, how you doing? Listen, I wanted to stop by and just congratulate you on your retirement. After 500 city council meetings or so, I think you've earned a nice rest. I did some research into Richmond history, and I found out that you were the first city manager ever to include in his tenure 3 giant World Series championships and 3 Golden State Warrior NBA championships. So on that basis alone, you've had a great run. I just want to say, Bill, it was a great pleasure and such a wonderful experience to work with you during the time that I did. That's largely probably because you always, without exception, followed my advice. But in any event, I want to wish you and your family the very best in your retirement, and I hope we stay in touch as often as possible. Take care now.
Bill and Sue, it's been a pleasure working with both of you, and we appreciate the things that you have done to move Richmond along and into the 21st century. Bill, thank you for your approvals to automate the clerk's office. That was a huge task. I wish you both the best in retirement. Retirement is wonderful, and remember, you work to live, you don't live to work. Enjoy your golden years, you've earned them. God bless.
The Richmond Police Activities League was truly fortunate to have had a friend in Bill Lindsay. I remember him coming to town his first week of being in Richmond and coming over to the Richmond Police Activities League and asking for a tour. And I think after that tour, he fell in love with the Richmond Police Activities League, and he was a partner of ours since the time he arrived in Richmond. And we're gonna truly miss him. Thank you for your time. We wish you the best in your future endeavors and in your life as a retiree of the City of Richmond. Thank you for your time. We really will truly miss your presence in Richmond.
Happy holidays, everyone. My name's Bill Lindsay, and I'm the City Manager of the City of Richmond. And this is something I've done before actually this is the 10th time I've done the annual 12 Days of Christmas Richmond style. So, as they do in the song, let's review. For the 12 Days of Christmas, Richmond gave to me 12 years as Richmond's City Manager and 12 ferry vessels now in San Francisco Bay Area ferry fleet, 14 next year, an 11% increase in sales tax from the second quarter of 2016 to the second quarter of 2017, the 10th anniversary of Richmond Build, a 9,000 square feet of commercial space leased at the BART parking garage, an $800,000 solar installation at Triangle Court, 7,000 bikes at a regional bike share program that is expanding to the City of Richmond, 6 state-of-the-art bus shelters on Carlson Boulevard, 500 Richmond Promise Scholarship applicants, and 5 guest bartenders at the Cheers for the Promise event, a $442 operating budget surplus, a 3.4% annual general rental adjustment for the rent program, a $2 million financial impact in annexing North Richmond and 2 Ospreys, and a 1-day park renovation at Wendell Park. Thanks very much for listening, and have a very wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. Thank you.
There are very few civic governments who value the services of nonprofits who provide critical social, economic, and cultural services to the City of Richmond. I came on board at the Richmond Arts Center as the executive director 6 years ago, at the time that the esteemed 75-year-old organization was rudderless and questioning its relevance. Rather than dismissing the Arts Center, Bill Lindsay was able to take the lead and convince city government to provide critical support to the Richmond Arts Center with a simple directive: go out into the community, engage, and make a difference. Bill, I hope you are proud of what we have achieved over the last 6 years. We have not only brought in 20,000 people every year to enjoy, to see and make and learn about art, but this summer I invite you to come and see the works of 300 local artists on display, to see the 400 kids, Richmond youths, who are taking our summer camps, and this 350 adults who are taking art classes in the 6 studios, and particularly our outreach program into the community centers this summer, into the neighborhoods as well. I want to thank Bill Lindsay on behalf of the Board of Directors, our staff, our 175 volunteers for what you have accomplished, and I hope that the city continues your legacy, that the nonprofits make a difference, are value organizations in the City of Richmond. Thank you.
First of all, thanks. I'm really glad to have an opportunity to give some testimony about Bill. It's actually a privilege, so I appreciate that, and everybody who has worked to support Bill in the past 12 years. I was thinking about it, and really the most important thing I can say from the point of view of somebody who works in the community and has been working with a lot of city managers and people over the years, I think the important thing for me is that Bill sort of is living the mission of a servant of the community. And never in all these years did I feel or witness anything other than Bill working on behalf of people in the community, not tripping about power, not looking to blame anybody, but rather to solve problems and to do it in an elegant, soft, gentle way. I think everybody knows, with a touch of humor. So that knowledge that the community belongs to all of us, and that people who serve in power or any position at any place can be gentle and effective and be respected is, I think that's what comes through when I think about Bill. In that sense, Bill is a model and an inspiration about how we treat other people. So I'm really grateful that he brought that spirit to Richmond. I'm really hoping it lasts a long time. Thank you.
The idea is to do a real focused code enforcement effort, but also not just code enforcement in terms of the private properties, but also for the city to do some work through its public works department. It's called One Block at a Time, but I think the idea is that we want one block to be the catalyst for other blocks. We want to have the neighborhoods, community members see that change can happen.
Again, this is a great project for the City of Richmond. This is the Richmond Transit Village parking structure. The construction is set to begin for this 6th-level, 764-space parking structure this month. It's a $25 million redevelopment project being constructed by C. Overrun Company, which is a Richmond-based business, and will create over 200 jobs over the 18 to 24-month construction period. One of the things that we're going to inaugurate today are charging stations, which right now it's significant enough for us to actually cut a ribbon. And my hope is that 30 years from now, kids will be born and they'll wonder, my gosh, why would you have ever cut a ribbon for a charging station? They'll just be so commonplace. You know, walking into the building here, I know this looks like an empty shell, but I can already tell there is good karma here, because when I walked in, one of the first things I saw, if you look up there, there's a little metal plate, and it says future. And so this empty shell now has a name, and it's the future of downtown Richmond, the first step.
Hello, my name is Bill Lindsay, and I'm the City Manager for the City of Richmond. and I'm your outgoing city manager for the City of Richmond. And very kindly, KCRT has allowed me to take a few minutes to reflect back on 13 years of serving this very fine community. A lot of things I've been reflecting on in the last, about the last 13 years, and a lot of memories that I'll take with me. And there's some things about Richmond that will stand out forever in my mind. The first is the fact that Richmond is such a welcoming community. I came to Richmond with city manager experience in a city very different from Richmond. And the Richmond community welcomed me with open arms, patient in learning about some of the things about the city that I wasn't necessarily familiar with. But Richmond stuck with me. The other thing I reflect back is the pride that residents take in their community. It's a wonderful type of pride too, because it's not exclusive, it's inclusive. It invites people in. It says, we're proud of our community, we want you to be proud of it too, take part in it, enjoy it. And that goes along with this sort of welcoming spirit that Richmond has. The third thing that I will reflect back on is the diversity that is Richmond. I think it's a source of its energy. It is part of its character. It's also the promise of a very rewarding future. Richmond is diverse like no other community that I know of, and it is wonderful to have been a part of that diversity for these last 13 years. I have many people to thank as I look back. I've received a great deal of support. First are the mayors and council members for whom I've served. They, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, they have worked very hard on your behalf, day in and day out, meeting in and meeting out. It takes a lot of work to be an elected official, and they have served admirably. Second, I really want to thank and acknowledge the Richmond City staff. They also work hard on your behalf every single day of the year. And they're also very proud to serve the Richmond community. You may not know that, but as I have conversations, they're proud to be a part of not just this organization, but they're proud to be part of the community that they're serving. It's a wonderful attitude that they reflect. They're technically very competent, and they're enthusiastic in bringing the work to their community. So I hope the next time you see them, next time you have a conversation with any member of the staff, just take the time to say thanks. That in many ways is the most important reward that they receive. And finally, I wanted to thank the Richmond community very broadly, all the people that are here. I could take up minutes and minutes of tape here just thanking people individually, but I will leave it with, it'll have to be left with the entire community that I'm thanking. I appreciate your patience and support in allowing me to do the very best I could in serving you. So as I transition out of my job, I know that you'll support my successor. It'll be an interesting time for me in this transition. Along the way, I hope we run into each other, and as part of that, I wish you safe travels. Thank you.
This is Judy Hart, and I'm really sorry I'm missing your party, but I'm so grateful to have a chance to say thank you for everything you did for Richmond and for Rosie the Riveter National Historical Park, and happy trails, Bill. Thank you.
Mr. Lindsay, I want you to know how wonderful it's been working for you these past 13 years. I wish you all the best in the future, and I will never forget how wonderful you have been to me, and I will miss you.